Okay, when you're ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yep,
Great.
thank you.
You just follow me straight down this way. And just in the centre of the front row, please. Thank you. Anywhere in the centre of the front row.
Thank you.
Anywhere in the centre of the front row, please.
Amazing. What's your name? Hello everyone, you can answer back. How are you doing? Good. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Kalunji Sibandeke. I'm the writer of this play, Black Terror. So this play is, like you're going to be able to tell, is a work in progress. So it started off at drama school as a solo project, and now I'm kind of like toying with the form and toying with the type of, I guess, performance I'm going to do. So I would love to have your thoughts. I would love to have your kind of feedback and any kind of, I don't know, notes or questions you might have. So sit back and enjoy. Act 1. Kabaka Mzali, 21, lays on the ground, dressed in a Hugo Boss suit. Bill Richmond, 66, sits in his armchair, dressed in 19th century clothing. They both appear dead. They slowly awake from their sleep and approach each other. They instinctively make a boxing stance, albeit with different posture. Who the hell are you? What are you doing dressed like that? What are you doing dressed like that? I'm Bill Richmond, and this is my home. Well, I'm Kabaka. Kabaka? What kind of name is that? It's Ugandan. It means king in Luganda. King, huh? I guess you're the king of kings. I never thought you'd look like that. And you've come to take me home, I suppose? What are you talking about? I must be dead, right? No, I thought I was dead. What are you talking about? Look, last thing I remember, I was out in central London celebrating my first win. A fight breaks out when this one Donny spills one of my boys' drinks. I went to break it up, and next thing I feel is this piercing in my side here. I don't know what happened next, but I woke up to find you looking at me like an alien. A what? Alien? Don't you know what that is? No. Where the hell am I? And why are you dressed like Hamilton? You're in London. 1829. 1829. That does not sound like a good year for black people. I definitely must be in hell. Last thing I remember, I said goodbye to my good friend Tom Cribb. Came home, found my children and Mary asleep. I came to the study to have a sip of no year. Sat down in the armchair. Woke up with you looking at me afraid. Shut up! I was not afraid. Fear. It makes monsters and cowards of us all. Kabaka, it is you who stands in the presence of a king. And Bill, you will eventually learn from your young student. Take this rare occasion and breathe life into each other's stories. Bill, take charge and lead our young king into this dangerous and unfamiliar world of Georgian England. Kabaka, show Bill Richmond how to navigate violence in the 21st century as a young black male. The stage is yours. But where do I start? I should probably begin with an introduction of myself. My name is Bill Richmond, and I was a bare knuckle boxer. My story begins in Staten Island, 1763. Like many blacks of that time, I was a slave. But don't let that be the label you define me as. I wasn't born no slave, regardless what them white folks say. You see, you can't put no chains on me or call me a slave if I can dream of a time when I was free. But anyway, I digressed. Age 13, a British man by the name of General Hugh Percy come by to buy my freedom, if you can call it that. From one white man to another, ain't no freedom. Now, General, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. You wanna pay for young Bill's education and have him working as a cabinet maker over there in England? That's right, Reverend. Now, what would make you do such a thing? I thought you English didn't have no cotton fields. Most of your boys and gals is over there in the Caribbean. Unless you telling me you simply want to buy yourself a pet black to show off to some of your aristocratic friends. That's not necessarily the case. You see, Bill is more than just your average black here. He's witty, bright, and I can pay you a handsome price. He's not for sale. But what have you got to lose, Reverend, my boy? My property. You're a man of God, Reverend. How is it you can justify owning another human being? How is it you can justify killing another human being, General. But I never professed to be a man of God. And that right there is the reason you can't have my boy. Why? So you can take him to England and he can be involved in all types of evils. Yeah. Besides, I can't take the boy away from his mother. On our way from service this morning, I overheard a couple of you Negroes talking. They seem to be convinced that Bill's yours. Of course it's mine. Any offspring of my slaves is a property of mine. That's not what I meant. I know what you meant. You draw up the documents and you can have him. I guess Reverend Charlton preferred to let me go than have people go on thinking he'd fathered a son by one of his slaves. Percy took me to York. Oh, not New York, but your York, in the north of England. That's where I got my first taste of blood. You see, growing up, I haven't always been the biggest. It's probably the reason I never did much field work. But it also meant that a lot of people used to try to test me. You see, I never did understand why Goliath might want to earn stripes by starting a fight with David. Now, David ain't nothing but an itty-bitty boy. Go fight a giant of your own. But like David, I had something much stronger on my side. Only in one God. But these. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't got nothing against God. I just don't know how these white men be preaching love thy neighbor, then crack a whip to a 13-year-old boy. And if God's so loving, why you make me a slave and the white man my master? But anyway, I digress. Back in Staten Island, I had my fair share of fights. It's where I got my knuckles hardened. But it was in York where I got my first taste of English blood. Darky Moore. What kind of name is Darky? I'm enjoying a day at the York race courses with Mary. Oh, Mary's my wife, by the way. Well, soon-to-be wife. She just don't know it yet. And I guess Darky didn't like the look of Mary holding hands with a darky. Now, Mary, what would your mom and pa say if they saw you walking hand in hand with a darky? Don't listen to him, Bill. Oh, he even has a name. Now, isn't that the sweetest thing? I ain't your thing. Now, it happens to be that Percy was nearby and he had seen what happened. He sat me and Mary down and said that York wasn't quite ready to see our kind of love. But if we went off down to London, we'd have a better luck starting a family there. Now, ain't London just as white as York? Not necessarily. You see, London's home to many black people. 15,000, they say. And not to mention, you can make a decent living doing the kind of damage you did to Docky. And no doubt will continue to do if you stay here.
But what about Bill's job here? He's worked extremely hard to finish his cabinet-making apprenticeship.
I know a man in London, a lord, and cousin to Prime Minister Pitt, the younger. He will look after you. I will send him a letter to let him know of your arrival. The man he was talking about was Lord Camelford. Rush and very sudden and choler, like Shakespeare says, but with streaks of kindness. Well, at least enough kindness to meet with me and show me around London. Are you an ale or spirit man? Neither. I don't think they serve that here. We'll start off light and work our way to the hard stuff. One moment. Bartender, a bottle of your finest New Year for me and my North American friend. And don't keep us waiting. You know, I will let you to a secret, Bill. I regularly dress down to speak to some of the lower class. You hear some of the most gut-wrenching stories of poverty and crime. I'm going to make a prediction to you, Bill. In this country, in years to come, the black man will have the upper hand over the white man. You see the revolution that's brewing in Saint Domingue? That's just the beginning. You're standing up and saying enough is enough. But that's just one state. But it's bound to inspire others, surely. Where is that bloody bartender with our drinks? Saint-Domingue has General Louverture leading the revolt. There will be more like him to emerge. Oh, don't you believe in your people? I do. I just don't think we have what it takes to take the whip from our master. Besides, there's more than one way to skin a cat. This I've got to hear. We don't always have to be aggressors in order to be revolutionaries. You don't think the Negro should ruffle any feathers? We should try and do what it takes to live long enough to tell our story. When we ruffle feathers, we leave ourselves open to death. Everybody dies, Bill, and we die quicker. So what better way to live longer than not tempting death? You weren't born to fight, were you, Bill? I fight to survive, but it don't always have to be with blood spilling. I can't believe this. Pretty impressive, right? No. Like this Lord Camerford guy is trying to tell you to get up, stand up for your rights, and you're giving him that Martin Luther King crap. Martin Luther who? I'll just tell you a story. Now, London was different to any other city I've seen before. Then again, I only ever seen Staten Island and York, but it was beautiful. Lord Camerford took me to all types of events that a black man in Georgian England had no business going to. He took me to listen to some classical music. He took me to the Drury Lane Theatre, where I saw this African man named Edmund Kean, whose volcanic rage erupted to the heavens. Although, I don't think he was quite African, because from where I sat, his blackness seemed painted on. Never here go, like to the Pontic Sea, whose icy current and compulsive course could ne'er keep retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont. Even so, my bloody thoughts and violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, to that capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Whoa, these men have been doing blackface from early. Mutting. I think they used shoe polish. No, I mean mutting as in like, alright, how can I put this in a language you would understand? English would suffice? Bro, just tell your story. Most importantly to my story, he took me to pugilism fights. You know what? We're just gonna call them bare knuckle boxing. Pugilism fights makes them sound more sophisticated. Ain't nothing sophisticated by hitting a man in the face so hard he starts crying tears of blood. Now, it's a little more gentlemanly from what they were doing before. Now you see, with bare knuckle boxing, you know you got nothing but your fists to settle the score, and no sword or bullet creeping up. In order for you to get a better understanding of bare knuckle boxing in Georgian England, you must first get rid of any knowledge of modern day boxing. You see, in bare knuckle boxing, you could kick, knee, elbow, well, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted. The date is the 23rd of January 1804, Wimbledon Common. That year, Haiti is born after a 12-year war with France. Ooh, there is a revolutionary smell in the air. Oh yeah, the Haitian Revolution! I know this one. Only successful slave rebellion. Right. Well, I've seen countless prize fights, and now I'm itching to get in the ring. We're there to see a big fight. 5,000 here to see Henry Pierce and Joe Burks. After 26 rounds of torturous damage, Burks has no choice but to have the towel thrown in. There is a second fight, one between George Maddox and Seabrook, a dust man who had Burks' knuckles written all over him. That fight was most unsatisfactory, and I let that be known. Boo! That's unsatisfactory! Maddox takes offense and dares me to the field. I accept, stripped to the waist, and enter the ring. He'd been fighting longer than I had been in London, but that don't mean he can't be beat. I could hear cricket whispers from the crowd. With General Louverture of Haiti dead only a year ago, I must have looked like his ghost back to do the Brits like he did their French cousins. Or more likely, they're probably thinking how a black man got into the ring and he ain't serving him nothing. Well, I'm about to serve George a Georgian bare knuckle sandwich. I assume the stance that I just seen him do. He hit me with a left hook to my face. Whoa. This fellow is quick-fisted and a sharp fighter. But I bounced back in the 4th round, firing him an explosive shot to his collarbone that has him go down hard. Boom! Woo-hoo-hoo! I like that! Oh, they can see that I'm enjoying standing over this white boy and they don't like it. He had me in the 4th as well. Oh, but he forced me onto my heels and the 6th was his. That white boy hit me so hard in my stomach, I saw my breath leave my mouth. Maddox had me on the retreat for the following round, but it was in the 9th where I felt it the hardest. Now it starts off well when I snuck between his hands and struck a hard jab. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! It felt so good. Oh, here I am about to win 6 skinnies, hitting a white square in his face in front of other whites. But as I let my guard down, Maddox returned the favor with the most vicious blow to my forehead. I felt a hole open up just over my right eye. I land with a hard thud. My hands cover my face. You got knocked the fuck out! Now how are you gonna let this Maddox fuck you up like that? You see? That's what happens when you get gassed and lose focus. Kabaka. That was my first fight. Oh, but Lord knows that wasn't my last. Most people will probably have given up. But not me. I ain't giving up for nobody. I ain't gonna let these white folks see me get hit, go home, and have them laughing at me. They already laughing at me. So what I did was I trained. Oh, I trained harder than trained. I trained so hard, people couldn't recognize me when they saw me. This is the part where you see me training. That's the end of the training part. Bruh, why did you have to show me that? Well, you had to see how I trained. You call that training. This is training. What is that? Shadowboxing. Your stance is all wrong. No, your stance is all wrong. That let me at him stance with your legs looking like a crab. Now, why'd you have to go and get personal? Bruh, just relax. It's not that deep. It's just a little banter. And anyway, I don't know how you can last 90 rounds wasting so much energy like that. Amazing grace, how sweet that sound. The next part is sad. It's sad because Lord Camelford died challenging another man to a duel. I know. Sad, right? He was my main benefactor. Me and Mary got all these kids to feed. Oh well, might as well put all this training to good use. I jumped back into the ring for my first professional fight at the age of 41. It was against Yusuf. With a wife and 500 kids to feed, I could use the 10 guinea cash prize. Coming from the same Jewish stock as former champion Daniel Mendoza, Yusuf was already a celebrity in his Jewish community. I'm guessing because he was bigger than me, he thought it would be a walk in a piece of cake. But on that Black Heath, Yusuf and I engaged in the most violent 15 minutes defense he had seen. Now he got up on the right foot, keeping me on my toes with his combo of left jabs and sharp right hooks that found their way to my body and face at the same time. Don't you hate it when you fight a magician pugilist? Anything I threw his way, he blocked. But the next time he went to hit me, I did the most amazing thing the crowd ain't ever seen before. I moved out the way. It drove them wild. Wait. Time out. They never thought of moving out the way before. No. You see, in my time, the true sign of manhood was the ability to take a beating. But being that most of my opponents were bigger than me, there was no way I was gonna stand there and let them hit me non-stop. Do you know how to dance, Kabaka? Bill, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm black. All right, but do you know the Kandeka and the Ngalo? Bruv, I only just learned the Azonto. Oh, well, in the Simbambasia region, in Angola, Kandeka translates into turn or prevent. In other words, to turn or prevent a blow from landing. And Angola means to bend in order to kick or get out the way of an attack. Oh, I thought you knew how to dance. Yeah, but this is African dance. And where you from? Battersea. That explains the 2 left feet. Ooh, yeah, Kandekan action. Kabaka, do not be like the English of my day who thought boxing is about who hits the most. The matches I won because of this style of defense. Whole point is to hit and not get hit. So learn to dance. Kabaka, learn to dance. As soon as I moved out the way, I hit him either with a jab to the face or a hard knee to his ribs. Boom, boom. As soon as he goes to hit me, I hit him with the footwork. He tries again, I hit him with the footwork. Oh, don't think he didn't land nothing on me, he did. In the 3rd round, Yusuf came at me so hard and fast, he came close to pushing me out the ring. But I kept my composure, and most importantly, my balance. Blood was oozing from my right eye, and I could hear the bones in my knuckles cracking. If I don't get that 10 guinea cash prize, I'm not only going home empty-handed, but with broken knuckles, and that ain't no use to a cabinet maker. But as the 4th round commenced, something magical happened to me too. I got some crucial instructions from one of the most admired pugilists in fencing. Spring from the point of your foot, middle your man with the left, and catch him under the butt of the ear with the right. Who was that? I don't know. But what kind of teacher are you? The kind that doesn't mind admitting when he doesn't know. Now this was not only the advice that I needed, but it was the encouragement that breathed extra power into my punches. And with that, I sent Yusuf a series of attacks to his body and face that rearranged his whole body and visage. And by the 6th, he had to concede. Boo! Now, as you know, Kabaka, the art of boxing prohibits standing over a fallen man, but he don't say nothing about dancing. So I danced! I danced to the rhythm and spirit of my ancestors. Ooh, I could feel the crowd grow restless, but I didn't care because I was victorious. And they couldn't take that away from me. Not only was I the better man, but I could come back again and fight another day. Their milky faces looked on as my black body moved like the Ponic Sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er keeps retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont. Therefore their bloody thoughts and envious ways couldn't dare touch this black, dare step to rumble up, because my capable and wide revenge would swallow them up. I turned my hand at teaching the sweet science. I was now training and seconding other boxers. Spot your man in the middle with the left and hit him with the right. And keep your feet moving. Hit and don't get hit. Kandeka, keep dancing, move those feet. One particular fighter was a fellow African American by the name of Tom Molyneux. a formidable fighter. First, you must lose that attitude. I don't have no attitude. Only someone with an attitude would say that. Lose it. I've been doing this longer than you. Don't make you better. But it does make me qualified to train you how to beat Crib. Then do your job. You need to add more weight to your punches, especially in the left. You don't use your feet enough. You want to get hit? Hell no. Then move your feet. If in doubt, move your feet. Come on. You gotta practice what you preach. Plus, you're doing it all wrong. You want me to be quiet? But how many closed mouths you know that get fed? I came from slavery, Bill. Slavery. And now I'm here in London. And I should be dead by now. But I'm not. And I'm gonna live my life loud. Who cares what these white folks think? They see us as animals, whether we're well behaved or not. What kind of life are you trying to live, worried about what others think? I used to be quiet, did I saw anything, so I had to run right when I bought me a turn. Who's that? Troilus Cressida? No, Giggs. He's a poet from the southeast of the River Thames. The Nam of the Peck. Jeez, bless you. You're not coming down with something, are you? No, old chap. It's simply an exclaim to show how gassed one is by his own coinage. I see your vocabulary is expanding. All right, don't get gassed. I am not getting gassed. It's nothing to do with you. I've always been an avid reader. I was reading Molyneux's biography when this crazy thing happened. Black Ajax. I was reading it in the park, and this white man walks past me. He scowls at me. I guess he thinks I'm some wrongin'. But I was reading, Bill. I was reading about Molyneux, about what he'd been through, and this man just looks at me like I'm some animal. He scowls at me. And you know what he did next? He spat, like he just walked past the devil and it made him sick. What did you do next? I wanted to ignore him, to keep reading, but I couldn't. So I got up and asked him to apologize. He looked at me, then the crowd, then back at me, and he put his hand around my throat, said how he was gonna kill me, all because I asked him to apologize. What did you do next? I hit him with a strong left hook. Why did you do that? It was self-defense, Bill. A gentleman never loses his temper. Only fight inside the ring. He put his hands on me, Bill. What you want me to do? Just stand there and let him squeeze the life out of me? That would never happen. You don't know these white people, Bill. You're talking to a former slave. Yeah, but we are living in a new type of slavery. Well, a white man is not the reason you're fighting for your life from a stab wound. I never mentioned his race, Bill. You've been around them for too long. You're starting to think like them. You see, that's why I love this Tom Molyneux guy. He was about that life. Molyneux died in his 20s because he couldn't see the bigger picture. Well, I'd rather die a hero than live like a coward. You don't know me. Yeah, no one does. Who do you think you're talking to? I don't know. You tell me. And you better watch your tone. Or what? What are you gonna do? Show a modicum of respect. Be real, man. I am real. Well, I don't believe you. I'm in charge. You're not three-dimensional. You're 2D, Bill. Yeah? You can slip through my fingers. Thin, mate. Yeah, more meat on the bones, champ. Hang on. You never won anything, did you? Like, how does it feel having your children surpass you? Like, people know Tom Molyneux, Jack Johnson. They know Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali. Bruv, they even know Chris Eubank. Junior! Bruv, They don't know who you are. Well, you're not real either. I don't feel your little 21st century pain. Your pain ain't real to me. What, this ain't real to you, yeah? Well, this pain ain't real to you. Yeah, you're trying to say my pain ain't real. What? You're trying to tell me that Donnie who threatened to kill me wasn't real? Hey, you're trying to tell me that the prick that stabbed me here wasn't real because it felt real to me while he stood there over me while I was dying. Yeah, tell me what's real to you, Bill. With each generation, we always hope things get better. Okay, my generation never knew what it felt to be on a shit-filled ship lying next to your mama and she gives birth to your sister. But we knew how it felt to be in the sun all day, picking cotton for the white man. Generation after me never had to worry about that. But they had their own struggles. So yeah, Kabaka, your pain is real, but it's supposed to hurt less. When I was fighting, we boxed with bare knuckles. So it meant that you could really break your hand or wrist. It also meant that you could really feel the pain. But now with the Queensberry rules, you got the gloves. Still hurts, but not as much. You got every right to feel what you feel. But just remember that I felt it first, and 10 times more. Take comfort in that. Still don't mean that I should just stand there and let them hurt me. It ain't nothing to do with about letting them hurt you. It's about you withstanding the pain till the end of the round. Come back stronger and finish the victim. The game's rigged, Bill. There can only be one winner, and more times it ain't you or me. Maybe you playing the game wrong. Maybe you playing it like it's fair. It's supposed to be fair. It ain't supposed to be nothing. Their game, their rules. What's the point in playing? Because if you play it like it's rigged, then you will emerge the winner every time, even when you hit the canvas. No. Let me talk to a sports hero that makes sense. Yo, take me to the 20th century. I want to go speak to Jack Johnson. You keep talking about Jack Johnson and the others. Hey, how about me? Why ain't nobody talking about me? I birthed them. And they steady standing on my shoulders. They eating the food that I gathered. But ain't nobody know my name. Maybe you didn't leave your mark. You were busy playing the game. I'm pretty sure they all played the game. Jack Johnson played the fast game and he died how he lived, recklessly. I died with my dignity intact. Queensberry rules. Jack Johnson, you ain't supposed to know this, Bill. It's not how the past works. Stop telling me what I'm supposed to be and know. You think it's by luck that you're here talking to me? I'm Bill Richmond, in the flesh. Can't you see? I shook up the world before Ali. It's not how the past works. You're a 21st century millennial. You know nothing about the past. Let me tell you something, right? I was there when Jack Johnson took the belt from Tom Burns. I saw what the world wasn't allowed to see when the camera shut off. I saw him showboating, and that cost him big time. He had tragedy after tragedy. Me, only tragedy is that I lived before your Insta tweets. Hashtag GOAT. Otherwise, they would know me. I was in the jungle for the Rumble. How could I miss out on the trip back home to Africa? I taught Ali his shuffle. It was me who taught Floyd Patterson and Tyson the peekaboo stance, not cast them out. Oh, I taught Eubank to be a gentleman and gave Anthony Joshua his first lessons in humility. And maybe that was your problem. Trying to stay dignified and humble in the brutal sport. It is a science, not a sport. With sport, there's winners and losers. The science I participated in, there were no winners or losers. Just scientists trying to find the solution to our humanity. We saved lives, Kabaka. Men who were ready to shoot or stab one another could settle the score in the square circle and live to fight another day. I want to be somewhere where they don't know me, Bill. I want to be somewhere where they don't look at me like an animal. You want to be seen as a king. I hope you're nice. Starts from within. Well, a king is only a king because we see them as such. What happens if the people around me don't see me that way? Then you say something. Did you say something? I did. Yeah, with your fists? No, with my words. My wit, my intelligence. I do use my intelligence, but it feels like everyone here has got their harnesses on, ready to jump to conclusions. Like no matter how intelligent I come across, they just can't look past their image of me. They can't step into my skin. They can't walk into my shoes. It sounds to me like you need a fresh start. Oh yeah? Is this the part where I wake up like Scrooge with a new lease on life? What is a Scrooge? Let me get this right. You know all the other future references, but you know nothing about Charles Dickens, a major literary figure. Little Charles is going to be a major literary figure? You know him? No. Banter. Finally, some personality. What I mean is, when you wake up, why don't you go back home? Bruv, I don't know how South London is in the 19th century, but me, I'm from the South London where the man demand. No. I mean home. Like Uganda. Nah. I don't want to go there. Too many people know me there. Well, they don't know me. They just think they do. You see, it is difficult to convince people that are stuck in their ways. You know? Their perception of you. It's easier to just go somewhere where you don't think they know you. You see, that's the thing. It's like you think people know you so you can't change. But when you go somewhere where you don't think people know you, you can fight against their perception of you. You can fully just start from scratch because you're not afraid to challenge them. See, Bill, when you moved from Staten Island to England, you didn't know how they were going to view you. You were used to American hate. So you knew you could do something about it. Even the English didn't know how they were going to take you. They didn't quite know. The way you viewed yourself and how you viewed their perception of you came in conflict with the way they felt they had to relate to you. That's when you clashed. But you fought against it. And you could. You know? Has to be somewhere new. Completely new. Don't say that. What? Those are words of a dying man. Stay fighting, Kabaka. You're a king, remember? And kings don't die. I think it's time. No, you're too young. You've got a life to live for. I'll tell him to take me instead. You think we get a say? When it's your time, it's your time. Kabaka, look at me. Look at me. You are the captain now. What? Never mind. I'm not familiar with the going-ons of the 21st century and why you say that all these young kids are stabbing each other, but what I do know is that you're scared. Scared of one another's strength. So you carry knives to feel strong and protected. I too was scared. Scared that I would be returned to a life of slavery. But I used the talent I had and turned that fear into strength. The strength to persevere amidst the dangers around me. The strength to fight and live long enough to fight another day. The strength to go on. So what are you waiting for? Go on. Thank you very much. Thank you once again for coming. If you've got any questions, fire away. If you've got any feedback, notes, I'll retain them in there. And also I'm filming it, so I'll listen back to it. Yeah. You don't have to have anything good to say, you don't have to have anything bad to say. You also don't even have to have any questions. So you can just wait 5 seconds. If it's dead silence, you just leave.
I think it's great, man. Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's great, man.
Thank you.
There's something really great here. I think, how do you see it being presented when you do the final version? Do you see it as being all you, and then, or is it with another actor, or what's the structure?
Yeah, you know what? I started off thinking it was going to be like a two-hander. Well, actually, the genesis of this started off at drama school, and it was like a solo piece. And but when I got this opportunity to present it to the Vault, I thought actually it'd be nice to have the younger boxer, because before it was just Bill telling his life and everything. Jasmine remembers seeing it, she was at my drama school. Yeah, so in the end, when I came to present it here, I thought actually it would be really nice to have a second person to bounce off of, you know, to see the older generation, historical figure having a conversation with this younger modern day boxer and see how their perspectives, you know, clash, and see how times have changed or how times haven't changed. So I kind of just thought that was the thought process. But then I came across a little problem. I was finding it hard to find older actors that could read the character Bill. So I thought, you know what, let me just do it as a one-man play. And the last 4 days has actually taught me that it could work as a one-man play. So in answer to your question, I'm still toying with it. I might do a workshop where I have another actor just to see what that kind of brings, the dynamics, or I might just go with the kind of one-man play.
I think you should do that workshop. I think that's a great idea, but I also think it works brilliantly as a one-man piece.
Thank you.
I wonder about that modern day versus. I wonder if there's a version of it which goes just wholly into his story and finds other ways to bring the connection between now and then. And whether there are works. So I think that stuff where the time collapses is brilliant. But I wonder if there's a way of, because that historical story is amazing. And I wanted to just drown in that story and see that whole thing and see the world in way more detail and see the full hour and a half version of that story. And I wonder if there are other ways that you can bring the modernity in, or whether it's like through metaphor or other. I don't know, but I think you've got something great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
There's one specific bit I love, which is the moment, I can't remember which character, the really poetic moment about the ebbing and flowing of the sea. It reflected back on the Edmund Kean portrayal.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, that bit's magic.
Oh man, thank
That's
you.
really magic.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, I stole that from Shakespeare.
But what's weird is,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if that is Shakespeare, and if that makes sense, because I thought you made that come to life from the second bit. I'm assuming.
Yeah. The second part, the first part was Shakespeare, Edmund Kean, Shakespeare, and then when Bill started, you know, inputting his own life, I did little edits and I did my thing.
It works really beautifully.
Okay,
I think that was a real highlight.
Thank you. You had a question?
No, I was going to say, I really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much.
Have you actually been in a boxing gym for boxers?
Not yet, but
I to get the feel of it.
I will. It's because I was going to, but then I thought for staged reading, I probably don't need to do that. But I have been watching YouTube videos, and I will be doing that. Exactly, and I will be trying to speak to a historical boxing expert as well to get, you know, that's the pugilist. Yeah.
My granddad, he's dead now, but he used to do bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, did he? Yeah. It still goes on. People still do it. Obviously, without that, they're like, I mean, that'd be weird if someone started. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna do that for the full production. I definitely will be doing it. Yeah.
So Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, who's gonna win?
Ooh, you know what? I don't know. It's tricky because you always think that if someone's like bigger and muscular, like they're gonna win. But we saw the first round of Ruiz and Joshua with that. What happened with that? So it's hard to kind of tell. I mean, people are saying Tyson's a lot faster. Tyson Fury's a lot faster, but no, the power of Deontay Wilder like might be too much for him. And also I also need to increase my knowledge of boxing in general. Like, even though I love the story, I'm not actually as well versed as I would love to be in boxing. So that's the next stage.
When we were Kings, the Spike Lee film.
When we were Kings, it sounds really familiar.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It sounds really familiar.
If you get a chance, go and see it.
Yeah. What's the subject matter?
It's the Rumble in the Jungle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about boxing, but it's got the music as well.
Yeah.
James Brown, and that's brilliant.
I might have seen it but it would be good to revisit it. Yeah.
Ladies?
I mean, no pressure. We can always talk outside, but
I think the modern, I know it's the development of the modern day story.
yeah.
I guess I was not sure why he had to die from being stabbed. In just, I don't know where it fits. I don't know how it fits the idea, and if it just becomes maybe too old familiar. The idea of my crime.
Yeah, no. That's a really good observation. I think the reason why I included the knife crime element is because I felt like Bill's life was so inspirational to me, and I'm not really, I guess, in the demographic of at-risk young people who are most affected by knife crime, but I was able to kind of use his life and parallel it to my kind of situation, whatever any hardships I'm going through, and it really helped me kind of see him as a role model and to see the, you know, really dire situation he was in. He was living in a time before slavery was abolished. You know, he was seen as, you know, less than human, but he still maintained this element of like respect and gentleman behavior, and, you know, really kind of persevered and lived his life beyond what was expected of him. And I thought that would be a really good kind of image for anyone who is at risk, and some of the most vulnerable young people are the ones who are at risk in the knife crime epidemic. So I added that to make it a little more accessible to that demographic, to that kind of it is a target audience of mine because, you know, historically boxers, you know, do come from hardship. You know, Mike Tyson, perfect example, you know, a lot of them come from, they could have gone this way but decided to go this way instead. And that's part of the reason why I included the knife crime element. And also, I wanted to kind of have this, it doesn't necessarily mean he's dying. It's just, I guess, a theatrical trick to bring him to the past, you know, to have him kind of almost passing out or, you know, fighting for his life. And then whatever's going on in our dreams, mad things happen in our dreams. So I can't really speak on what happens if you're there fighting for your life. And I've kind of, I guess, hoped that the audience suspends disbelief and assumes that this young man, through his exposure to boxing and whatever, finds his way in Georgian England and meets this figure and and learns, and they learn from each other. Yeah, learn from each other. Okay, all right. For those of you that I don't have the contact details, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can I get your emails or Twitter handles, and I can like send you future kind of emails just to like invite you? Yeah. Thank you once again for coming. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Where's it from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Oh wow. What brought you to here?
London.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing? You alright? Okay. ¿Cómo está?
Hello, how you doing? You okay? I'll bring my. Thank you. What's your name? Did you know each other? What's your name today? What your name is? Jennifer.
And I'm Charlene.
Shalini. Oh, Shalini. Okay. I worked with an actress. She pronounced that Shalini, but yeah, Shalini. And now, what do you do? What's your playwright? Oh, okay. What's your last name? Jennifer Farr. Did you see the announcement of Hampstead Theatre Classics? They're bringing Tennessee Williams and Alfred Fagan.
Yeah, I saw it today. As Chrissy, I do enjoy this week, but I don't really know
Oh, you don't think they were good?
no, I think it'd be fine. I just sort of like, I don't know. I don't know if we'd be doing it, but he's in that space. It is sort of like the what takes up space. So it's just bringing up but I probably should.
Yeah. I read it today. It's pretty good. It's pretty controversial.
Yeah. So I think that's more the downstairs. So, how long have you been developing?
Just about like a year and a half. So yeah, but there's so much more to do.
Yeah, no, I think I was asking about the lifetime element. And I hear what you're saying. I absolutely agree with that.
I thought I
But
didn't-
it is about fucking she's trying to like how much
No, I have met some people who are also like
how much from different background and she was like way she wanted to live and she I what that means the arena is there. And I guess it was just sort of, I think there are give people with that different backgrounds and just that's just the T1 thing itself. Also maybe the she feel that character. I think that is all there's all lots of other ways you can get that convention in.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was just
Yeah, no,
I know it's also much development, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Just wanted to say thank you.
Oh,
Good job.
thank you very
Good
much.
luck with it.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. See you later.
See you later.
All the best.
Enjoy the rest of the festival. Thank you. Will do. Yeah. Definitely. So glad I got you to come down.
Yeah. I mean, are you involved in any sort of like writing
I did like Soho Theatre Nights.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Did Lyric Hammersmith.
Yeah.
I've done a few. But it'll be good to kind of. I'm gonna sign up to like a Curtis Brown one, but that's more like TV
Yeah.
writing. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think because there was a play, I'm trying to remember John's surname, called Far Gone. It was a one-man show that was on in Sheffield and it toured and it was about
Like John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just in terms of like how well it can be done of the solo, you know.
Okay, yeah. I
So,
heard, yeah.
yeah, it was great.
He's from the same country as me. So.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
and they did a tour in Uganda last year. So definitely have a